Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trucking Tower podcast and this segment of Adventures in Trucking. I'm very excited to be joined today by Jason Dochney, who is the principal owner of Archetype Process Consulting. How are you doing today, Jason?
Andy, I'm doing great. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I was really looking forward to having you on with me. I saw a video with you, and you putted, I don't remember how many balls in a row was it in that video that you putted?
I think the video that I sent you was six balls, I believe.
Okay, just back to back to back. That was amazing. And you were a golf pro, I learned also. Well, that's really neat.
Correct.
That's awesome. We were talking before the recording, and I learned about an awesome story involving you and a day you birdied 9 out of 18 holes. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So at that time, I was working for 3PL in Oklahoma, doing carrier relations, building up an LTL network. And we had a LTL partner in the Tennessee area, kind of too late to schedule a flight, not too late enough to take golf clubs. So we did because they wanted to play. So Dyersburg Country Club, I think it was, happened to be on the day that Michael Jackson passed away. But that day, stepped up on that golf course and made 9 birdies out of 18 holes. It was amazing.
That is incredible. I like to play. I'm no good, but I do like to play. But I can't even imagine 9 out of 18. That's incredible. What is one of the things you've uncovered in business in terms of being successful?
Andy would take that right back to golf, where I started. And especially once we got about a year ago, everybody has their 12-month story right now. What were we doing 12 months ago? What are we doing today? What kind of progress have we made? What kind of failures have we realized and overcome? So, looking back when the pandemic started, I really started to assess who I was, what I've been, what I wanted to become, and looked at transferable skills as a point of reference to do those things. Transferable skills for me, just to help you with that maybe explanation, as a golf professional, shotgun start tournaments, everybody's played in them, charity events, for your work, whatever it might be, right? As a golf professional, I had 5 hours to host those guests at our facility to maximize their experience and also maximize the revenue for our facility. So my transferable skills when I was a golf professional, and now as I'm in logistics, my transferable skill was getting those 144 people to do what I needed them to do in that 5-hour period so that we could maximize the enjoyment for the people that were there for that intentional 5-hour period and for the rest of the guests throughout the day.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play in the Oklahoma Trucking Association golf tournament, and I had a booth at a hole also. And yeah, getting all the people through, there's a lot of logistics involved in that right there, for sure. You also talk about some of the key challenges facing companies today, and you mentioned patience. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Especially through my own process of moving through the last 12 months, kind of as we talked about a little bit, everybody has their own story, but patience is, I wouldn't have been able to get to where I'm at today without patience, without understanding that I'm going to do and try new and different things, and I'm going to test those things. And along the way, we're going to see failure. So the patience aspect for me goes back to organizations, and especially organizations that I've worked with recently that have had obstacles that they didn't necessarily know how to overcome. But we inserted some patience, reaffirmed the positive, what's good that's going on right now. Everything is not always negative, but companies, organizations having the patience to commit to failure, to see something through to completeness.
Absolutely. The weird thing about that is I've learned more through my failures over the years and what to do next time than when things just flow smoothly. you don't learn nearly as much. But
Absolutely.
It's kind of weird how that is in life. You know, what else are you working on these days? Tell everybody kind of what you're working on.
Sure. What I get into, which is a couple of different things. Right now, SCMFX is a concept that we're working on to assist importers and exporters with Incoterms, currencies, things like that. It's relatively early in its existence, and it came by way of a LinkedIn conversation. Somebody that I connected with, they reached out to me, and here we are 4 months later now, still talking about these concepts. And I just booked Wednesdays at noon for the next 2 weeks because we're committed to seeing this through. I just committed with that individual that I'm collaborating with the next 2 months, Wednesdays at noon. So what am I working on right now? Anything that I want to shy away from saying anything that I get involved in because that implies a box solution. And that's not the case because we get to where we want to go through active listening. But it's 4 questions. What works well? What does not work well? What can we do to affect change? And is it worth the effort? So that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Very good. Well, I really appreciate you coming on with me, Jason. It's been great getting to know you. We're both from Oklahoma, you know, and
absolutely.
So we've got that in common, and I've loved watching your golf video. Really was looking forward to talking with you, and I really appreciate you coming on with me today. That's going to do it for this segment of Adventures in Trucking on the Trucking Tower podcast, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Jason.